15 years later. This September makes 15 years.
Yo, we're going to get in uncle status, uncle auntie status.
Oh, yeah. It's when the kids calling me uncle and they're 25. I'm looking at them like, I'm 7 years older than you, boy. I want to write songs about surf, life in the water, to help people to realize if you stress, like, go to the beach. You know? There's no side effects there. It was so bad to the point where my depression got heavy enough to where I didn't want to live anymore.
Because I'm super into fantasy.
Oh, yeah.
I have like so many leagues, way too many.
So too many to jump in with us or what?
I mean, if you guys want a new champ, then I'll be happy to
I won
bless
last
you guys.
year. I won last year. At this time, I'm going to bring up my beautiful wife, Katarina, to come and sing this next song with me. It's a song we sang together one of the first days we met. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, oh, oh.
Felina Mai Kako, welcome to Keep It Aloha, a podcast that keeps it aloha by being the biggest heartthrob in Hawaii for over a decade. I'm your host, Kamaka, and I am definitely not talking about me. I am talking about our guest today. But before we introduce him, I gotta remind you to check out keepitaloha.com to buy some KIA merch like the one I'm wearing right now. Use code KEEPITALOHA to get 10% off. And don't forget to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/kamakadias to become a part of our Patreon Ohana for as little as $3 a month. You can get exclusive behind-the-scenes content and listen to uncut episodes before they are even released to the public. If supporting this podcast with money is not for you, but you still love listening to us, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It would mean the world to us. All right, let's introduce our guest. What if we told you the next 3 times you fill your tank, you could save money? Well, at Texaco in Hawaii, it's true. You can get $1 off per gallon on your next 3 visits when you download the Texaco app and join Texaco Rewards. Earn points on every fuel transaction and qualifying in-store purchases at participating Texaco stations. Download the app and join to get started today. Visit texacohawaii.com for details. Our guest today is a musician from the island of Oahu. He is a singer, songwriter, and frontman of the ultra-popular group Kolohe Kai, which is a local Hawaiian reggae band. In 2009, they broke out on the music scene with an array of original songs like Ehu Girl, Cool Down, and First True Love, which today has over 100 million streams. Their album, Paradise, was named Reggae Album of the Year by the Nahoku Hanohano Awards in 2013, and in 2019, Kolohe Kai released their 4th album, Summer to Winter, which reached #1 on the Billboard's Reggae Album chart. Their popularity has been undeniable as they have been one of Hawaii's #1 most streamed reggae artists of the past decade, with over 1 million monthly listeners on Spotify. He is the Justin Bieber of our generation in Hawaii, and I am so stoked to talk stories with him today. His name is Roman D. Peralta. Aloha, Roman. Welcome to the Keep It Aloha podcast. How you doing?
Good, bro. Thanks for the intro.
No worries. Thanks for doing all those things.
A little bit too much high praise for me, but I appreciate that, bro. Thanks for having me.
You don't gotta follow in Imua's footsteps. We can brag for you, and you can still be humble. How about that?
Oh, mahalos. Appreciate that.
No, I really appreciate you coming over here, driving into town, and talking stories with us. I've been wanting to get you on the podcast for a long time because you're just, I'm not going to say you're a legend, you're a future legend, you know?
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Yeah, mahalos for having me.
Guarantee. Well, I'm excited to talk stories and get to know more about your life. I mean, we've all kind of known you for years now. You were at every single grad party from, I think, 2010 to like 2013, maybe.
Pretty much, bro.
Because I'm from Hilo, but I moved to Kaiser my senior year in 2011.
Okay.
And every single Hawaii Kai grad party I went to, I think it was you guys.
Yeah, I remember that. Every weekend we had like 3 different grad parties. When
one
we
was
first
at Sea Life Park, I know.
Oh yeah,
over there. The Masutanis.
That was a nuts one. Yeah, that was a crazy one. They jumped on stage and that was nuts. They took over the stage.
Yeah. I know we have a lot of mutual friends. Like Cody Staff and all that.
Right. I seen some of them in the water at bowls afterwards.
Oh, really?
And we were talking about that.
That's so
party.
funny.
But yeah, that was like 13 years ago.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Long time ago. But I want to start at the beginning. Where are you from? Where you grad? And what was it like growing up?
Yeah. So I grew up in elementary school time in Kapolei. Went Kapolei Elementary, middle, and then was learning how to play guitar during that time because my dad would jam all the time with his friends, and so I was always the keiki, kind of watching my dad and his friends and my family, very musical family, jam and stuff. So I kind of like grew up just watching my dad play, and then he would teach me guitar when and then he'd come back from work and after, teach me the chords, and then I'd practice all day. And then, but eventually just kind of like started, covering songs and learning in that. And then we moved to Kaneohe. So I went to Castle High School, and that's where kind of like the whole career really started, was the band. I'm meeting a lot of the band members that are presently still working with me now. And then, just getting signed at 16 years old to Imua Garza's previous label that he was on, called Aloha Entertainment. And so just, getting, going to high school, graduating 2010, and having, the whole This Is the Life album come out in your senior year. And so, but a lot of those inspirations of the songs that came from that first album, and many more after, was based off of my life in Kauai. My family goes way back on the plantations out there on the west side of Kauai. One plantation in particular is called Pakala, and it's right on the water. Unreal surf break, unreal sunsets. Life is just like the way Hawaiians, would have pride to represent that kind of culture and living off the land. And I would go there for vacations or school breaks, and then just write songs about the water and its therapeutic effect on us, and just the life, and being 17 years old, you don't really have much problems, right? So just writing songs about everything, high school loves, or whatever,
surfing.
Surfing. Yeah. So that was basically the beginning part of my journey. I guess there's more in depth to it, but kind of a little broad one for you.
Did you feel like, because back then when you're growing up and you were writing songs, you had less distractions because never had social media?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I feel like we were the last generation between pagers and flip phones.
Yeah, we had half and half.
Yeah. We never get the internet on our phones until basically we were in our maybe early 20s, late teens. But yeah, I think that having that pure present-minded focus on where you were at was just such a healthy thing. And it helped me embrace like where I was at presently, and to write songs a little bit more. Yeah.
Do you find it more difficult to be present these days?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, social media and, with work and, things are different now. You have bills to pay, right?
Yeah.
You're not living with mom and dad anymore.
The good
and all
old
that.
days.
Yeah.
You're not on their dental plan, right?
Right.
After 26, it's all downhill. That's what I tell people.
Yeah. So I think, of course, with just growing up, challenges, get more. But I do think technology is a huge distraction that doesn't allow people to embrace creativity the way that they would have, like when just had coloring books. Yeah, for the keikis. Now they get iPad thrown to them.
Yeah. Did the coloring book on the iPad.
Yeah. Exactly. Right. Less messy, but a little bit more tempting for distraction and for kids too. We never had YouTube growing up. So, but yeah, it was nice. Being a local kid during that time of no internet was a blessing. Absolutely.
What were some of your like favorite childhood memories?
Man, I think building shacks with my dad in Kauai, that place I told you about, the plantation on the water. I have so much fond memories of just taking driftwood and my dad teaching me how to, put the walls up and the ceiling up and cut palm trees and put them on. And I think a lot of that, like just keiki times of being in nature, being in the ocean. I have like just good memories of that. And I'm an only child, so most of my fond memories of keiki times is with my mom and dad. And I did art a lot when I was young because I loved just drawing. I didn't have any siblings to play with, so my brain just went towards what I could do and play Legos and all that stuff. So I think just the fond memories I have of my parents and them teaching me stuff, surfing, guitar. My dad teaching me how to play guitar, and yeah, good times.
Did you do any like team sports?
I did play football, but I wasn't really good. Yeah, I just I always ended up playing lineman because nobody wanted to play lineman, and I always felt bad. And I wanted to be a receiver, but there was always this opening, and I always felt the pressure. Like, okay, I'll just try play line, and I was skinny. Yeah, I wasn't a big boy, but yeah. And then I played. I was a slot back receiver at Castle. But I was second string because I was junior on the varsity team. And yeah, I didn't do anything. I told myself, okay, if football doesn't work out, because my dad was a super big football, kind of a pretty legendary guy from Waimea High School in Kauai. He had records that, he broke at that high school of being an unreal quarterback. So I kind of lived in the expectation of people telling me when I was younger, oh, are you gonna play football like your dad? You gonna play football like dad? So I kind of had that pressure growing up, like, I want to make my dad proud. Yeah, I want to make my family proud. And so I tried doing those things. And I told myself, if this doesn't work out, I'm gonna start one band. And so 17, I played, and I was always playing music, the Brown Bags to Stardom and stuff during those days in high school. But yeah, football didn't work out, and then that's when I went full on into music.
Yeah. So, and it just took off. It exploded. And that was like a couple years after YouTube has already been around.
Yeah.
So you were able to put some videos out, and I remember seeing videos of you and Kolohe singing on YouTube. Gosh. That was like high school, when I was in high school, like I mean, you guys
I would have been 18.
Came out in 2009, right?
Yeah, so I would have been like 18 when. Yeah. Because I remember Kolohe being like 10 years old, coming to our Brown Bags to Stardom competition and signing a little paper for her. And then I remember a year later, we started covering some fun stuff.
Yeah. I remember those old YouTube days are some of my favorite days.
Yeah, some fun ones. I mean, crazy. I didn't even start a YouTube account. Like, I would just upload videos to my friends' accounts because I was too lazy to figure it out. So my friends would just upload stuff, and I never had an actual account until like 2013.
Yeah. So I was watching, what was it? Cool Down, I think, last night, and it's from some random guy's account. Right. It's like 8-point-something million views.
I know, it's crazy. Like, during those times, I really could care less about, like trying to I don't know, like monopolize like the profile of subscribe. At the time, I didn't really understand.
YouTube wasn't monetized either, back then.
Yeah.
So we weren't thinking like, oh, you're gonna get paid from streams and all of that. So
we didn't have any expectations.
Times,
yeah. Now we know how it works. So
So you guys came out in 2009, came onto the scene in 2009, and just got so much traction. It was like the second coming of OP Pickers, and when I say, if people wasn't following this guy or didn't listen to Kolohe Kai growing up, like it was around the same time of Justin Bieber in America, in the world. Like, Roman was the Justin Bieber of Hawaii. The Emo Garza, when Emo Garza was doing his thing. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. You were that guy. It must have been overwhelming, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think just for us, we just never really pay attention to what was happening. I think we were just jamming, and I'm just, I kind of never knew what to say about that, because even when I was 18, they would always say that and make comparisons and all that. And I was just like, I'm just here to play music.
I just jam on my ukulele, go grind food and surf with the boys.
Yeah. No, for real. Surfing was always like my favorite thing, and the music was my second. So I mean, the comparison is a very thank you for the compliment. I mean, that guy's been a big artist for the world, and to be a small comparison to him, I appreciate the compliment. Yeah.
But I mean, you guys ended up going internationally pretty quickly as well, right? You ended up going to New Zealand.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah, it was
a couple years after.
2011. Yeah. YouTube broke out a viral like video of Ehu Girl and Cool Down. And then somehow we didn't even know where New Zealand was, because when you're in Hawaii and you're going high school here, you don't know what the geography of the earth is. Yeah. So when we found out, there's a lot of people liking the music in New Zealand, we didn't realize to what extent that was. And YouTube had just really kind of began. And so when we went there, we didn't realize we were going to headline these venues that Lionel Richie had just done the week before. And we're like 18, 19, not even knowing we had fans there. And then they're knowing all of the music, like all the lyrics. And it was really overwhelming, being right out of high school and touring Guam, Australia, New Zealand, and just being exposed to a bunch of wonderful people across the Pacific that we never knew, like the music. It was powerful. It was special. And it was a really cool memory to have.
Yeah. When you first started, did you like have the goal of being really big like that, or you just wanted to make good music?
Yeah, I had honestly had no expectations. And I remember wanting to just do music. Like, I loved writing songs, and I loved singing, and that was it. Like there wasn't like a thought like, oh, I really want to try to make this a career. My dad in the middle of it all was trying to tell me, hey, you know, you should go college just in case some music doesn't work out. And I just started my signing to that label, and I just told him, you know what, we'll see what happens. You know, I think music and at the time my volunteer work I was doing a lot of Bible teaching work at the time. That was like my main focus, those two things. And so I was like, I don't need college. And then it ended up growing my business. This career ended up kind of going off and took me places I never expected. And I'm just so glad that no expectations is great expectations.
Exactly.
And, you know, if you don't have too much high expectations, you can't be disappointed.
Exactly.
So I think that's a cool experience that I had that I hope can relate to some people listening that try to live life without, you know, that high expectation.
Yeah. At what point did you know that you could make this into a career? Like you didn't have to go to school. You're just gonna go fully into music.
I mean, I think still during those years, in the beginning, in the first 3 years, I didn't really think it was gonna, like, even when we did New Zealand, like I still thought like maybe I could have to go find another job. But then I think when I came back with the Paradise album in 2013, 2014, that was the first time that I had been free from my record label. I was signed to a record label when I was 17, fulfilled my 2-album contract, and then started my own label in 2014. I think in that moment, that year, I realized I could make this an actual career because I could learn how to be my own record label and like, what does that mean? You know, how do I sell my music when all I used to do was write, record, perform? But there's so much more that goes on behind the scenes that I was so overwhelmed and intimidated by. So I never really understood that until that year. And then 2014 that came, I was like, oh, I like this. I like the freedom of just, you know, like being able to call the shots. And you know, and thankfully the band members that started with me in high school, we all just kind of like still, some of them stayed on board, and then we ended up continuing it on, you know. And so yeah,
that's awesome. I see Noah every now and then. He actually did the music for the opening of our podcast.
Right on.
Yeah, Noah's solid.
Noah is unbelievable. He's our sound guy, and he's been our sound guy the last 6 years, consistent. He was original ukulele player for Kolohe Kai, and
saw him with the shorts past the knees.
Yeah. We all had the baggy jeans pants, and I always get made fun of by my wife telling me, "Oh, you used to love those baggy jeans pants, huh?" But yeah, Noah, my first cousin. That's my first cousin. And so now we go do all these shows across the world, and he's been our sound guy, and
he's also very talented.
Unbelievable. I mean, you talk about a producer who like started a lot of artists, you know, their first on the scene, Sammy J, you know, and then Landon McNamara's first album. I know he did all that, and he did many other artists. He's very talented. And then, you know, we got Jasmine Moikeha, who's been the female vocalist for Kolohe Kai since the beginning. She's the first girl I sang with in high school, and still to this day, she still does shows with us here and there. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to have the crew around and just have that nostalgic feeling of like, 15 years later. This September makes 15 years that we've been jamming.
We're going to get in uncle status, uncle auntie status.
It's when the kids calling me uncle and they're 25. I'm looking at them like, I'm 7 years older than you, boy. You know, no, call me
but that's respect right there. Yeah.
Gotta take them as respect, not insult. Yeah,
exactly.
But no, really, really awesome to have the team together and, you know, still be able to do this for work and jam. But that's the most important thing, is just being able to keep playing music, and hopefully it uplifts people listening.
Definitely. I mean, it's so relatable. I mean, you're a local brada. You have all your like genuine friends who are in your band, playing together, working together. And you guys are just representing Hawaii in such a good way.
Thank you.
And showing kids that, you know, it's possible to make it big from a small island.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know where New Zealand is, you know?
Right. Well, New Zealand's huge, right? It's like, and for us in Hawaii, we just didn't have any idea.
Yeah, we don't need geography. We don't need that.
Yeah, but crazy though. You know, like just how the music spread through the Pacific. Like, it's like I always likened it to dropping a rock in the pond, the ripple effect, right? And music, Hawaii is the center of the Pacific, really, like really right there in the middle. And so gratefully, you know, because of the internet, coming out when it did,
Yeah.
it allowed that ripple effect to have even further reaching places like the Philippines is our number one fan base out of every international country outside of US, right? And so yeah, just crazy to think about that. And just California is our most like common place we go to because a lot of those Filipinos are fans there too, you know? So it's like, and then it's just really cool. It's really cool to drop the rock and then 15 years later see how far it went.
Yeah.
And hopefully you can keep dropping the rock and it keeps going.
Yeah. Creating tidal waves already, I think.
Thanks, bro.
So how did you guys come up with the name Kolohe Kai?
Yeah, so Kolohe was always a nickname given to me when I was young because I was always making pranks on people. I was always like scaring my tutu and papa and being accused of giving them a possible heart attack, you know? And so just being on a rascal, you know? And that was always my personality growing up and just trying to be, like that. And then Kai, actually Noah helped me with this one because we were going to be Kolohe Boys. And then Jasmine was in the band. Right. And Jazzy's like, I don't want to be in a band called Kolohe Boys and I'm the only girl. Like, come on. And then because I had written so many songs about the ocean, Kai was just something like, no, I was like, hey, you should name it Kai. You know, and so it kind of rung with me. I was like, oh, that's right. It's rascals in the water. And so then that's what basically the artist name became and the band was called and it's the same name 15 years later. We've been rolling with.
Still Kolohe these days? Is he still Kolohe these days?
Yeah, not as much.
According to the wife, still Kolohe.
but yeah, we're just the whole message about the ocean has just been always my theme. Like just I want to write songs about surf, about life in the water to help people to realize if you stress, like go to the beach. You know, there's no side effects there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Maybe you get vana in your foot or reef in your foot.
Maybe you never put sunscreen. You get a little bit too burnt.
But there's more positive, right? To just kind of being in nature and the water is so therapeutic. So
so after graduating, started this music career, toured everywhere, just kept doing it. You took a little break for a couple of years, right? I
did actually from 2011 till the end of 2013, I took a 2-year break. I really wanted to focus on my volunteer work. I went to Israel. I did some preaching stuff to help refugees to learn about the Bible.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was kind of a real powerful experience for me. I was really grateful to go. There's a lot of refugees from Sudan, Africa, and places like in Ghana, Nigeria, that just were fleeing to Israel for survival, basically. I mean, it's blunt to put it. And so I took some time during those years to try to go and just go share a positive message with them from the Bible. And I did that throughout even Hawaii too, just go and visit the neighborhoods and share. And that was what I was really doing during those 2 years and kind of taking a time off too. Because being overwhelmed with that exposure at the first 2 years of my career was overwhelming for me. So coming back to it later on with a little bit more maturity and a little bit more experience at 21. I mean, I don't know how much experience you got at 21, but that's when I came back to music and it was healthy for me to take that time off.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Then I came up with the Paradise album and then I took another kind of like 3 years of a break doing the similar work, volunteer work. But it's a weird industry to be in. I mean, when you're doing this work for music, sometimes it's a place you notice you just need a break from. Like the hustle is sometimes not the real good longevity for anybody's career because you just burn out. So for me, I found myself kind of stepping back from music here and there across the 15 years, but I think it's helped me to stick around.
Yeah. I love that you had the courage to take off because, you know, it sounds like, oh yeah, you just took off from work, but that was your livelihood. And that's also like, you had so much momentum.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
To some people, that's kind of scary to be able to take off and like, oh, when I come back, is it going to be the same?
Yeah.
You know, am I going to lose fans? Am I going to lose followers? And just like going outside of your comfort zone and going outside of Hawaii to give back. And do something bigger than yourself on like a big scale like that. I think, well, I mean, I commend you for that.
Oh, thank you.
After college, I joined the Peace Corps and I was in Madagascar for 3 years doing some volunteer work.
Oh, sick.
So I know it's tough being away.
Yeah.
But, you know, when you have this, you have a heart for service and others.
Right.
You know, it's
beautiful, man.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, and you learn a lot about the world and others, but you also learn a lot about yourself.
Yeah.
So I think that's like the thing is that what I noticed at least is like you love helping, you love giving, you love making people happy and smile, but there's a lot of self-interest that comes with that because it makes me feel good. It makes you feel good, right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, I always thought like, oh, volunteering is almost like a selfish thing. It's weird to say that, right?
There's so much joy that comes from giving, right? There's more happiness in giving. Yeah. And but yeah, no, I appreciate you sharing that too. Is something that I hope that all the locals get a chance to maybe get off the island and get out of the comfort zone. Because sometimes we get stuck in the rut. Yeah, we get in the bubble of this is it. This is everything. And when we go to different places, different countries, you see the challenges people deal with. We realize what we complain about here is so little, so small that our worst case scenario is somebody's best case scenario in another country. And I think taking the time to go and explore those areas in the world that may not be as fortunate is a humbling experience, and it puts us in our place. Definitely. And so I think that's what helps a lot, because when you do music all the time or you do any sort of work, that it can kind of be a little ego boosting, and you also need a break from that too. You don't need people telling you how good you are all the time, right? Because that's not a healthy experience, because we're all human. We're all just people, each person. So I think taking time away to get away from the fluff is what I like to say. It's kind of good to know when you look at somebody in another country, they're struggling the same way. Yeah, it's just aloha, just trying to look at yourself the way you're supposed to and look at others the way we're supposed to.
Yeah. So. I like to say disconnect in order to reconnect.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Because, we got to unplug from our phones, our technology, everything. And then you're able to just leave all those distractions on the side and just talk to people like this, right? With no distractions, Same with surfing, you can't bring your phone surfing, right? Yeah. That's why it's like so therapeutic for me.
Disconnect to reconnect. I never heard that. I love that.
Yeah. That was that was my mindset when I joined the Peace Corps, was to get away from everything and just reconnect. And it did help me reconnect with just people on a human level. Yeah. You really get to know them, and like you said, see how grateful we are for everything that we have here, and this gives you a totally different perspective.
Yeah, that's what we need. That's what everyone needs, is perspective.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I'm so happy that you got to do that. I didn't know that about you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm happy I did too. I'm still trying to do that volunteer work here and there to help teach people. But yeah, music is definitely my job, and I now we're kind of on momentum right now, doing another new been the last few years. So just chapters in life.
Definitely.
Chapters in life.
Different chapters. So you came back from that, did more music, took another break. Yeah. Came back. Are we seeing a pattern here?
Yeah. Well, when I came back with Heartstrings. So from 2014 till 2018, there was no albums that came out. Just one single called Higher. And it was a surf song. And then I came out, I during that break, I wrote Heartstrings with this Unreal producer from New York. And we created this song that I was so excited to release, but it took a while. So released it. I didn't expect how much the kids are gonna love it, because they like that they like they like to say that because they can't say anything else. Yeah. So Heartstrings became the kids' favorite, and then Round and Round came out a few months later, which was something that was my favorite song I've ever written.
Oh, really?
Nice. Yeah, just something I was going through some depression during those years of my life, and I wrote a song to help encourage myself and others to not give up. Yeah, and so it was so bad to the point where my depression got like heavy enough to where I didn't want to live anymore. And when you get into that mindset, the darkness that overcomes you is just. It's just scary, because you don't want to live, and so going through that depression time helped me to talk to people, to get encouragement, whether it's my mom or others, uncles, aunties, and just kind of capture the messages of positivity to help me get out of that funk. So I took a trip to Costa Rica, sitting underneath a shack, and we're all talking about, man, if we all had problems and we put them in our bag. And we all decided we wanted to trade, but we didn't tell other people what was in the bag. But would they want to take our bag or stay with theirs if they realize what's actually going on in our problem bag. And so in that little shack in Costa Rica started this whole process of comparison and just realizing that we got to work with what we have and not give up, not throw our cards away just because life is hard. And so I hope that was the message that Round and Round ended up containing is that, hey, we got to go through obstacles. Round and round we go, whether it's sunny or cloudy, you know, don't give up on your life. And so that's kind of was the comeback for me, realizing that that was the first song that I had written that I started hearing from people that it helped them to overcome suicidal feelings. And so that was like a huge turning point for me in my career because I had never had a song like that up until that point. And then it became like, oh, I want to do this for real. Like I want to try to make more songs that are going to encourage people in their mental health. And yeah, thankfully I got out of that depression and it's been a thankfully smooth road since. But yeah, then, you know, the Summer to Winter album was a part of that comeback and, you know, creating songs through there, like Natural High, all about surf. Yeah. And that was in 2019. And then since then just came out with singles. And then the Hazel Eyes album, I got married to my beautiful wife, Kat, met her in 2019 and then came up with Catching Lightning, proposed to her in that music video. And then she didn't know. She thought we were just filming for the music video, but I had planned the actual engagement.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, but it was during COVID, so it's kind of like hard to like plan because we could only have certain
limited,
people.
yeah.
So we got to like make a Zoom room and get her family from San Diego to watch. And so Catching Lightning was a really powerful song and music video for us. And then came more singles like I Think You're Beautiful, which is like a round and round message for kids that are feeling bullied at school, don't feel good about themselves. And so with that I Think You're Beautiful single, then came the Hazel Eyes album, which I wrote for my wife. Hazel eyes being her eyes are hazel. And then just based off our wedding that happened in 2021. And then from then, you know, just had that album. That was the last album that was dropped. And a bunch of singles since. Can't really count how much or what. But yeah, some singles have come out. I'm thinking Hope. What other singles 2022 to 2023?
A lot of singles.
Yeah. A bunch.
The only thing not single is this guy.
That's right.
Within those years.
Yeah. So that bunch of songs that come out just recently, I did a collab with Iration, which is really cool. It's called Number One. It just came out 2 weeks ago, and it was my first time being featured on a song since I was 19.
Wow,
I've always been like asking people to jump on mine, but I got asked to jump on theirs, and so
super cool.
That's a cool song. Go check it out when you guys get a chance.
Yeah. Iration, they got some classics as well.
Oh yeah, Falling, Time Bomb.
Yeah.
That's like 9th, 10th grade for me.
Yeah,
that's when I think about it. Yeah.
It's crazy when you hear people that struggle with mental health that have such a big smile on their face, right? Because it's like one of those things that you just don't see it, right? Yeah. I remember you might have seen this video. It was going through social media. It's like two older guys watching a soccer game. The one guy's like always kind of sad and grumpy. The other friend is like super happy and always cheering on. And then it keeps showing them at different times. And it looks like the sad guy, he's just like so just unamused by everything. And then one day they said like sometimes you don't, sometimes depression is obvious. And then it cuts to another scene and then the happy guy's not there. And the guy's putting like his what's it called, scarf on top of a chair and saying, but sometimes it's not as obvious or something. And the guy who was always happy and cheerful was the one who was depressed and took his own life. So there's this like this European commercial about that.
I never saw that.
It's a very powerful one.
Wow.
Yeah, but it
heavy.
It showed how real that is.
Yeah.
How not everybody who's depressed is just like,
right.
You know, it's like the people who sometimes have the biggest smile on their face, like Robin Williams. You know,
absolutely,
the genie.
Yeah, talk about a guy who made everybody happy but himself. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So
true.
How were you able to get through that time and still have this big smile on your face and talk about it so openly?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think, you know, with any job, right, you gotta anybody, everybody's watching right now. Everybody's got work they got to do. And so sometimes you put on your best face and you move forward. But yeah, I think just knowing that you have people that you want to make sure you encourage. I think being accountable and knowing that, hey, I gotta be strong and try to be an encouragement for others. I think that helps, people to realize, like, even though we don't want to smile through and act like nothing's happening, and there's moments where you break down and you need to let people know what's going on. Like I did with my wife, my parents, when there were times when I was feeling down, because it's important to have people that you trust and you love. You let full transparency be happening so that they know what's going on, because they're the ones that are going to hurt the most if you pauhana. Yeah. And so you need to let them know. Let your core know that what's going on in your head is not really healthy, and how can you help? And I've been going to therapy pretty much every week for the last 4 years, 3-4 years about it. And every Thursday I talk to a therapist to help me get my mind right. Like a mechanic helps your steering on your car keep aligned so that when you're driving, you don't like let go of the wheel and a thing automatically veers left or right into somebody and hurts somebody. Well, that's what I try to do with my mind, and try to encourage anybody else listening out there that when you're feeling like your alignment's off, go talk to somebody. Get some wisdom, get some good tips on how to, realign and focus on going straight in life, and then that way you don't derail yourself. Because I was very close to falling off the tracks and not being able to be here right now, and I know many people have been at some point in their life like that. So yeah, that's what I think helps me a lot, is therapy and just having good close conversations with people that you trust. And
awesome.
Yeah, but then also know that people watching, and so if you can show aloha and get through your problems, there's a saying that we have in our house that be strong because you never know who you're inspiring. Yeah. It's a little box we have over our fridge, and sometimes I look at it and I think, well, yeah, there's people watching. So if we can get through our problems, then it might. And one guy that has done that to me that I'd like to share his story is my Uncle Stanley. He fell out of his bed having a nightmare and cracked his neck, and has been paralyzed from his neck down for about 8 years, give or take. And this man was working, I'd see him often, and before he got hurt, he was always somebody that he was there when I wrote Ehu Girl, Cool Down. He would listen to me because he'd work around my papa's house, and then when he ended up getting hurt, he couldn't move he couldn't even scratch his head. And so I was really close to this uncle. But when I had my accident, I had a car accident around the same time, 2016. And my back was sore. I couldn't surf. I was feeling super depressed, and being 23, 24 and not being able to be energetic in Kolohe was depressing for me. And that was during this time I was sad. I went to go visit my uncle who just got paralyzed, and he's asking me how I'm doing. Yeah. And then I'm like trying to put on a face and tell him, I'm doing okay, uncle. Had my car accident, kind of really, really bust up right now. And he told me, he says, well, let me tell you, boy, I'm grateful to be alive. I can't even scratch my forehead, but I'm grateful to be alive. So what is it that you can be grateful for? And his example inspired me big time. Yeah. Because still to this day, he's laying in his bed and he asked me to scratch his forehead. And here we are physically being able to walk and surf and go holo places. And yet my uncle is still in his bed, and his attitude is so inspiring that I think that's the way we got to do, is like find those people in your life that are going through something more hard than you, put you in your place. Of course, we're all going through challenges, but just remember it can be endured. Yeah. So I hope that story can help encourage people. That I wrote round and round a lot from that man's example, because his problems in his bag, people would just look at him not thinking, oh, uncle, he laying in his bed a long time, man. Bro, he's been in his bed 8 years. Yeah. So something to remember. We can get through any challenge, and he's so positive. Hope is the only thing that keeps him grounded. And that's something that when we are busy in our life, we forget what to be grateful for. He's grateful to be alive. We should all be grateful to be alive.
Yeah. It makes me think of this quote I saw a long time ago. That happiness isn't about getting what you want. It's about loving what you have. Yeah. And being able to realize oh, I still got this. I have a lot that people could want. Like what you
Right.
said, like our worst thing could be our worst case scenario could be somebody's best case scenario.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I think just people, we gotta take a step back sometimes. Yeah,
For sure.
we can be sad, we can
Yeah.
complain, we can
Right.
get angry, but just let that pass and then come back and be like, okay,
Yeah.
maybe it's not that bad.
Right.
But injuries, that's probably the saddest points of my life, because I played sports all my life and just a million of injuries. I'm injured right now.
Oh, sorry to hear that, bro.
No worries. So it sucks when you're not able to do what you love to do.
Yeah.
Because I go to F45 now. I have to take some time off. I surf. I got to take some time off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember in 2021, I had surgery on my wrist. So I wasn't able to do stuff for like almost a year.
Wow.
And I wasn't depressed, but I wasn't as happy as I could be.
Absolutely.
Because like, you're just at home doing nothing, and cool, you get to watch TV or whatever, take some time off, do different things. But when your life is all about like being active, doing like sports or surfing, or even I don't know, being able to like walk around and just go to the beach and I don't know, whatever it is, that thing that you love, that kind of is your coping mechanism for a lot of things. When it's taken away, man, you just get into a dark place, and it just straight up sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, but for me, I just tell myself it's a season. It's gonna pass. It's winter right now, but summer's coming up. It's not summer to winter, it's winter to summer right now.
That's right. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's like a lot of sitting with yourself and really having these conversations. Like for me, I was always able to like self therapize. I don't know if that's a word.
I got
but just kind of like get myself out of these places.
Right.
So I didn't have to seek extra help. But others, you don't always have that. You don't always have that that mindset. I guess I've been in so many situations where I had to be alone, like living alone in the middle of nowhere, where I had to get through these things on my own.
Right.
But don't be afraid to reach out. We have a lot of guests that come on here that talk about going to therapy. We have Angela Lee, who's the fighter, MMA fighter, and she has her nonprofit Fight Story. And she talked about how, when you're hurt physically, what do? You see a trainer, you see a doctor, you go to physical therapy. And that's a super common thing to do.
Right.
But, when that check engine light comes on in our mental health, you kind of just ignore it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got to start normalizing our, like, taking care of our mental health, just the way we take care of our physical health.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So mahalo for sharing your story, because it's really inspiring, and it's going to help a lot of people that's listening to this.
Right on. I hope so. Yeah. I mean, your brain controls everything. Your brain is hot, the most important. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like your mind, with how much stress comes from stuff like social media, or watching the news and seeing how it's going on in the world, and the chaos, the sad times. Our brains are never really like kind of designed for that much information all the time. So we're overwhelmed. So if you're feeling like that, and you need help, it's nice that you've had experiences where you've learned independence, though, to try to grow and muscle through certain stuff. And then if you cannot do that, and you realize you did everything you could on your own, then go seek help. And it's not something that's a shame. Back in the old days, it was taboo. Yeah. Oh, you going to see one shrink?
Yeah.
That was the thing. One shrink. Like, what does that word even come from? Like what is that? Some guy who like makes things small so you can see what's important. I don't even know what that word comes from, but
I
just,
didn't even think of it.
like, what is a shrink? Like, I don't know. But anyway, I think that it's so healthy to go. And every week I try my best to talk to somebody. And sometimes the Zoom is even better, because you can just go straight to your office or your bedroom, and you don't have to drive and sit inside one lobby with people waiting and people looking at each other. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
If you could change put it in a bag and exchange it.
Yeah, it's like everybody looking at each other like kind of embarrassed, like, oh, we're here to seek help. It's like, bro, you can set up a Zoom appointment with your therapist and then have to deal with that. So that's what I do.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, there's BetterHelp. I think I've heard that before, and then there's a lot of other ones like that.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to do, and that's what I try to have with these discussions is try to encourage and inspire people that they're not alone.
Mhm.
We love you. You get family that love you. So if you're at a downtime right now, go get help or go to the beach. Go, put a bodyboard in your hands and just catch waves. Just don't catch crabs.
Yeah, exactly. And don't be too tough. That's my toxic trait, is that I have a very high pain tolerance.
Yeah.
So I've been pushing through all these like pain and injuries for so long, and I've just accumulated a bunch of things, like separated this shoulder, surgery on this. I got like knee problems since I was young, and I've always like put it off and be like, I can just push through it. It's just pain. And now recently, all these old things that I've been ignoring, they're just coming up again. And now I'm just like, I basically have, this is my only good part of my body right now. Is my left leg. So
sorry to hear.
No worries. But I'm sharing this because don't put it off for too long. Go, if something feels off, go take care of it. Yeah. Don't be like me.
Absolutely.
Whether that's physically or mentally. Yeah, but
good advice.
Mahalo again for sharing. Let's take a quick shishi break, and we'll come back with a song performance.
Definitely.
Little, we got maybe a duet.
Yeah, I don't know. What happens.
I just saw a video of you two singing the other night.
We'll have to see what songs we can put together.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll think about it during the shishi break. We'll be right back.
Right on.
Immerse yourself in the underwater wonders of Hawaii's marine life with Hawaii Ocean Charter's hands-on guided snorkeling tours. Whether it's your first time falling in love with Waikiki or you're rediscovering its beauty just like me, there is no better way to see it than from the ocean. Personally, it was one of the best things I have done this year. I got to snorkel with some turtles and fishes, and I was able to catch the coolest sunset over the water. Conveniently located in Kaka'ako with online booking and live availability, finding the perfect day on the water couldn't be easier with them. Ride in style on their unique and well cared for power catamaran that offers all the amenities you need. Locally owned and operated, their friendly crew lives for sharing their love for the ocean with others. Sunset cruises, guided snorkeling tours, whale and dolphin watching, coastal sightseeing, and fireworks shows are among the tours their guests love the most. Use code KIA50 to get $50 off of your next charter. All right. We got an awesome performance by the one and only Roman. Take it away.
Said it happened last night, about 10 to 11 when I first laid eyes on you. Was standing in line into Club 777. It was just like heaven and a dream come true. Was standing in the right place at the right time. Yeah, when you this Ehu Girl caused the crime. You're my pretty little Ehu Girl who made me a fool in love. You got my heart telling the world now it needs cooling off. You set my heart on fire, and now I don't know what to do. You set my heart on fire. I'm so in love with you, my Ehu girl. Yeah, na 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 na, yeah. Oh. Now this time, I'm gonna bring up my beautiful wife, Katarina, to come and sing this next song with me. It's a song we sang together one of the first days we met. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, oh, oh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You don't even have to try, 'cause you're already mine. The way you light up the night is like a million fireflies. Baby, you set ablaze, and all of the ocean could never take away your flame. 'Cause the stage was set the moment we met, and building like a bass drop. You and me feeling this beat, oh. You're pulling on my heartstrings, wrapped around your finger. I just wanna linger, listen to the sweetest melody. Baby, I'm yours, my heart is yours, yours to play. Oh, 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 oh. Baby girl, you move me like a symphony, and every time you smile I give up. Yeah, oh, every time you smile I give up. You're pulling on my heartstrings every day, wrapped around your finger. I just wanna linger, listen to your sweetest melody. Baby, I'm yours, my heart is yours, yours to play. Oh, 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 my heartstrings. Oh, 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 my heartstrings. Hey.
Wow,
for having us, everybody.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Are you looking for a game that's guaranteed to make you laugh at your next party? You need to check out Moat Gabs, the newest card game designed right here in Hawaii for locals by locals. Race against the clock as you read seemingly random phrases that sound like gibberish at first, like Pio Gold Mango, or Heat Wood Go, or something like Male Lay Cow Liki Maka, until you figure out the local phrase. Mele Kaliki Maka, Eddie Would Go, and Pickle Mango. Each card has phrases that could be a person, place, or thing, but any local should know them. They just might not understand it at first. Moat Gabs, the fun kind game where you read the gibberish out loud to decode the local phrase. All right, we're back from a shishi break and a performance from Roman and his wife Kat. So beautiful. Mahalo for sharing that.
Thank you.
You guys have such great chemistry. I love it.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Match made in heaven. Or match made in Disneyland. Because that's the most magical place, right?
On earth. Yeah.
Okay, well, speaking of that, let's get into the social media fan questions presented by Texco in Hawaii. The first question comes from our mutual friend Lola_Fitness Nutrition. Or Lola White _Fitness Nutrition. She says Disney World or Disneyland.
Ooh, that's a good one. I think, oh man, I would.
Oh, he's really struggling.
This is a really tough one. Okay. There's reasons why.
Okay, break it down.
Okay, I'm breaking this down. Disney World has Animal Kingdom, which is unbelievable because it's so beautiful. It's got like a safari and it's got the Avatar ride, which is so epic.
Wait, like actual animals there?
Animals, yeah.
Okay, I haven't been there. So.
Yeah, there's a full-on like safari
cool.
where you can catch a safari truck and go actually see animals. That's sick. And then they have cool rides that they don't have at Disneyland, and it's huge, right? And there's like all these parks. But then I like Disneyland more in some ways because it's all jam-packed into one park. Mm-hmm. And then you got California's right around that you can walk, where I feel like Disney World is so far and you got to break it down into days sometimes because it's just a lot. So I kind of like Disneyland more just because it's easier to fly to from Hawaii and you can get every ride you want to in that short amount of time and walk into places. So I would have to say Disneyland is my favorite more.
For convenience sake.
And yeah, being able to walk quicker too. It's because I tore my ACL 3 months before I went Disney World. So my experience probably comes from not wanting to walk a lot. But
that's fair.
But the rides are sick at Disney World. Sorry for the long answer.
No, that's good to know because it's also informative for me.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right
okay.
on.
Do you agree?
I agree.
Okay.
The churros are better.
Churros are better. Okay. Yeah, the $30 churros are better at Disneyland, they said. Okay. Where is this? Where's that? I want to ask right there. This question comes from Patreon. Our supporter, Ray Sensei. This person asked, how did you meet your wife, Katarina, and how often are you in San Diego?
Oh, wow. We met at Lulu's in Waikiki. That's right.
Before Moani's, there was Lulu's.
Before Moani's, there was Lulu's. Yeah, we met there. And then we go to San Diego quite often. We go see her family up there maybe 3 to 4 times a year. But we're always doing tours up in California. So we're up there quite often. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to have to reverse a little bit. You got to give us the long story.
Oh, the long story on how we met.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want the Spark Notes version.
So she slid through the DMs because your friend used her phone to message me because she was too shy to message me. I don't know how that works, but anyway, we ended up communicating on DMing each other, and then she came to Hawaii to visit, and then we met at Lulu's, and then that night we basically were sitting by walls, and I had my ukulele, and we were talking story for like, I don't know, a long time. Hour, 2 hours. And I got to show her that I Think You're Beautiful song. I told her I just wrote it. And then we started, I asked her what song you wanted me to sing. And she said, could you sing Heartstrings, which she just sang. And that was the first song we ever sang together. And I didn't realize how beautiful her voice was and how she could harmonize off the spot. And so it was like one of those like moments. You're like, the moon is out, the stars are there, the ukulele on the beach, and she and I, and just we're singing Heartstrings together, and just it was a very special moment. And so
it just felt right.
Yeah, it felt right. Yeah, absolutely.
That's beautiful.
Harmony. So something that we still try to do here and there, and still sing together. So we've been together 5 years now. So
amazing.
That was 2019.
Yes. People should go after what they want. No, be shy. Sometimes you need a friend to push you. But that's the thing about even like dating apps and stuff and social media. The only thing different between dating apps and social media is that on social media, like Instagram, you don't know if they're single or not.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty much the only difference, because you're able to see a person and be like, okay, maybe
if they're on the dating apps, they single.
And
they should be single.
Should be at least, because I've had people that met on like Tinder or whatever, like
Bumble
Hinge and Bumble, and that they're married now, or that's how they connected. Or people like Keiko Kazumera and Andrea, they had a really good story about him sliding into her DMs. That's how they ended up meeting.
Cool.
So it's more acceptable these days. But also I saw this chart on Instagram saying like how people meet these days, and it's like all the different ways people meet. And these days I think it's like, what was it like? It was a very high number. I want to say like 60 something, or could even be higher percent, that you're gonna meet your future partner online.
Oh yeah,
just because of how
the chances,
and how our society works.
Right, we're all on our phones.
Yeah, exactly. But it also gives you an opportunity to connect with people that you normally wouldn't have connected. Because what if like you never slid into the DMs? Yeah, you could possibly not have met the love of your life.
Absolutely. So
that's why I think there's so much strength in social media and people, especially on dating apps. Because I never use that stuff, but I meet people and they're kind of a little like shame to say like they met on a dating app or something. But I really don't think it's that bad.
Right, because you got to meet somehow.
Yeah. But also, and if it ends up working out,
right.
Isn't that like the most beautiful thing ever?
Yeah, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, because even like if I think about like my past like relationship and like the current one right now, like we met in person, but like how do we connect? Social media.
Right.
Started following each other,
right.
Respond to stories here and there.
Yeah.
Like half the relationships these days wouldn't even exist without social media.
That's the present day passing notes in class, right?
Yeah.
Right, because that's the only way we can pass notes across the Pacific to San Diego and back.
Oh, that's a good way to look at
but
it.
That's the only way, So
Or because I remember MySpace days, you'd have to like comment on people's walls or something. It's
Yeah,
like
and it was
pretty public.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
public.
you could message, but I remember having full on conversations on the wall with
and
people.
had to use AOL Messenger.
Yeah,
You have to get their AOL AIM, right?
Remember, you had to like text people, but you had to like sometimes if you didn't have the unlimited messaging, you had to like pay for text.
Right, right. And then you had to stop from when it maxed out at 100 letters.
Yeah.
And then you had to press the numbers 4 times because you had to do it the old
T9,
way.
yeah.
Had to do all kind of different. Oh man, texting too used to take 5 times longer to press the A button once and then to get, you had to, it was hard. This next generation has it way easy.
Yeah. I used to have the Sidekick phone. I love that one.
Oh, yeah,
the one that it either flips, spins around or like flips up.
I had J Boog's like songs like all on there for my ringtones.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Remember you had to record on the radio or something?
Yeah.
Your ringback tone
Your
or whatever?
ringback tone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy times, man.
Showing our age.
That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah,
we can take pride in that.
Yeah. I love it.
We had to get innovative.
Yeah, those are. You ever did the kind where you could record your voicemail and you'd be like, "Hello, hi, it's Kamaka. Psych, I'm not even here."
Oh,
and it goes to voicemail.
Oh, I've had that. I had one that lasted like almost 2 minutes where I left them on hold, and I forgot that one big music company was calling me, and I forgot that I didn't change my voicemail, and so it was like embarrassing. It was like, who is this kid like you're working with? Yeah, anyway, this was like that was 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
So I mean, let's just say,
one big kid.
No, it was like, hey, what's going on? Hold your wait. Can hold on? What? Full on, bro. Like 2 minutes. Anyway, I changed that long time ago.
Long time ago, 4 years ago. That's like pandemic time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
we had nothing to do.
Yeah, I was bored. Yeah, that's so funny. I remember I had that at some point. I was like, I think when I maybe got my first job or whatever, I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't do this anymore.
I remember my mom calling and leaving voicemails saying, I don't know how many times I've fallen for the same trick. It's like I keep leaving your voicemails thinking you're doing this different. My 222. Anyway,
that's so funny.
Kolohe, right? Gotta live
Very
up to
Kolohe, yeah. I was a Kolohe kid as well, so that's probably why I like Kolohe Kai.
Right on. I appreciate that.
Okay, next question comes from Astra.Entia_M.Ager.
Wow.
Astra.Nintia Major, but with a lot of different marks.
Nice.
All right. That's a tough username.
That's all right.
I would just take out like a couple of things, not to be nitpicky or anything. But anyway, what's a pattern of thinking young/new artists should avoid?
Oh, wow. I love that question. Pattern of thinking that young artists should avoid. Ooh, I have lots of things on this, I think. I think it's so important to remember that, like I said earlier, about no expectations is great expectations. So I think if anybody that's listening out here wants to get into music, not to like not have dreams. Like it's important to like have a dream that you want to like do music and share your message and your creativity with the world. Like being an artist is so healthy, it's beautiful, and the world is going to be very grateful for your contribution of art. I just think that for young artists, they have high expectations because they see what's happening on YouTube. And you talk to a lot of little kids nowadays. I do career days sometimes and ask them what their dream goal is. And they're like, I want to be a famous YouTuber. And it's not about the content to create that's going to bring value. It's, I want to become some famous dude. Right? You got to love something enough to become passionate at it, good at it, in order for people to want to see you do that, like a specialty. Not just I like be famous, you know. So I think that's one of my things with the young musicians out there. If they can remember like to treat music as a love for you, it's not. Music is the destination, right? It is the journey. It is the destination. But when the destination becomes riches and fame, then it's something that is. You're going to miss out on the wonderful, beautiful joy of creating music or anything it is, you know. But if in particular for young artists out there, try not to like set yourself up with this pressure that you got to like be this big thing, because work on your craft, but avoid comparisons. I think that's another thing that we deal with every day. One pattern of thinking, comparison is the thief of all joy. So if you're comparing yourself to the singer next to you or the artist across the Pacific or whoever has more followers, more likes, more streams, more subscribers, it's all nothing, because what's measured in value is how you feel about your art and sharing it with people, and people would love it. So anyway, for anyone young out there that wants to get into the music game, do it for the right reasons. Make sure your motives is about music and about making people happy and making yourself happy, and you'll go far. You'll go far.
Awesome advice. Yes, follow your passion. The money will come. The money will
it's not
follow.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because money does not equal happiness, but doing what you love, that does.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I think that's like the beautiful things about finding what you love and being able to make it into your career.
Yeah.
Because and then you feel like you're not working. It's just, this is just fun.
Yeah.
I mean, this is work,
right?
Technically, but I mean,
do what you love.
We're just talking stories. We're having fun. Yeah.
That's it, bro.
And we get paid for it.
Yeah. Do what you love what you do. Yeah. But try not to make the end goal.
Yeah.
What it's not.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How do you measure success?
I think it comes down to when you're gone and you pass away, what is the memory that somebody can remember you for in regards to a personal conversation you may have had with them, maybe how you affected their life somehow. Because I feel like if you gave them, if you can share something, mana'o, knowledge, advice, or comfort, or just being a listening ear for somebody going through a hard time, I think that's really what measures success, is like how much of an impact or difference do you think that you could make in somebody's life? And you don't need to have thousands of fans to do that. You could have 4 or 5 people that appreciated a composition you wrote. And I feel like if you can bring joy and happiness to people, I think that's the way that we're all supposed to be. I mean, money is not really the actual, I mean, we have to survive. We have to pay bills. So I mean, yeah, it's important to make a living, but try to make the living feel alive.
Yeah. Well, there's another saying that I love. You make a living by what you get, but you make a life by what you give.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
So
great advice.
Yeah. One of those things that another one of the mantras that I always have in my head.
You make a living by what you get, but you make a life
by what you give.
By what you give. I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm learning.
Just to sum it up. Okay. Next question comes from Bringing Up Birds with a Y. Birds with a Y. Are you playing at the Shell this year? Our neighborhood goes together every year.
Oh man, this year we have no Hawaii dates for concerts.
Yeah.
Okay. But if it happens, we'll post about it. But as of right now, I don't have an album dropping till next year. So we like to try to surround Hawaii shows around albums.
Yeah.
So unfortunately this year we don't have an album dropping, and so we don't have any dates planned. So if anything happens, we appreciate you guys coming all the time though. Mahalos for the support.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
It's funny because that's one of the venues people just go right on Kapiolani Park. They picnic outside and just listen to the music.
Free music.
Yeah.
Right on.
Okay. Next question comes from very handsome man, Thick X Daddy X Saf. This person says, what makes Uncle Ron the funniest man alive? Then has like a little dash coming from the funniest man alive.
Wow, interesting. That's who? My cousin.
Cody Safri.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
You don't know Thick Daddy Saf.
This is my cousin. What makes my dad the funniest man alive? I mean, you gotta have a sense of humor if you're a Bears fan. I mean, that's what I have to say. I mean, I'm sorry, but you do have to have a really funny personality, because I'm a Packers fan. And I mean...
He's a Packers fan.
Hey! Anyway, my dad is really, really hilarious, bro. That's for sure. I mean, yeah. Coming from the funniest man, that's him, yeah. Cody is...
I would say Cody is one of the funniest people I know.
Yeah. Did you go to Kaiser too?
Yeah. And our dads went to Kaiser. So my dad's a Kaiser grad too.
Nice.
So I went to school with all of his classmates.
Oh, what a small world.
Yeah. So I know all them. Yeah.
Right on. What's up, brother? Cuz brother Cuz Cody.
Yeah. I remember seeing you two at his mom's funeral a couple years ago.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful service.
Oh man. Yeah, definitely our family. Everyone's getting older, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Auntie. Rest in peace, Auntie.
Yeah. Absolutely.
She's awesome. Okay, next question comes from Chasky_G. What's a future collaboration that you would want to do?
Wow. Future collab. I've been wanting to do a bunch lately, but I think my dream collab really is with Uncle Feej.
Mm.
Yeah. I think since I was 15, I've always dreamed of doing a song with him. And he signed on a piece of paper, a napkin, when I was like 15. I was too nervous to go ask Uncle Feej to sign something, and I would cover all his songs, Sweet Darling, you name it, everything. And so on it, he said, keep jamming, Brother Rome. And that was it. I always remember, keep jamming, keep jamming. So still to this day, even with how many shows and concerts and tours we've done together, I still never did a song with him. And I just really want to. And I know everybody, you know, a lot of artists
We would
have.
love that.
But I think Uncle Feej is definitely someone I want to collab with, and along with all the other artists too that are out there. But Uncle Feej is the legend of our poly reggae scene. So
Yeah.
it'd be an honor.
Well, Noah, he records with Noah too. Just hop into the studio,
I
right?
text Uncle Feej. I say, hey, you guys ready? Let me know. So yeah, it'll be awesome. But that's definitely something I'm wanting to do.
Okay. Well, I can't wait for that because that song's gonna be
Thanks.
that one's gonna be fire.
Right on.
Okay. Next question comes from our mutual friend Dylan Pokele.
Right on.
He says, add Kamaka in the Fantasy Football League 2024. ...
Oh man, bro, we have a fantasy football league with the team, with some of our band
he told
members
me.
and stuff. Oh, and Dylan, he's competitive, man.
He just got into it. 'Cause
He did.
I would tell him because I'm super into fantasy
Oh,
football.
yeah?
I have like so many leagues, way too many.
Oh, sick.
So
Too many to jump in with us, or what?
I mean, if you guys want a new champ, then I'll be happy to.
I won
bless
last
you guys.
year. I
Yeah.
won last year. You're gonna have to. The winner gets a helmet of their favorite team from that.
Okay,
so that's
nice,
like the
nice.
prize. So it's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah, I have like a super legit league where you get this big trophy and you get your plaque on it.
Oh,
You get like
that's
a
dope.
championship ring and everything.
Oh, I like
It's a-
join your league then.
It's a $500 league.
Oh, dang. Okay, maybe not.
Yeah, and we might raise it.
Oh, bro.
We're serious. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully I get CD Lamb again this coming year, because that
Oh,
guy
yeah.
was hammers.
I think he was telling me because every time I see him, he would show me his roster. He sent me
yeah?
screenshots
Yeah.
because he knew I was really into it. And then I
He's
remember
good
at
fun.
first he never really played, but then he got
Mhm.
really into it.
Yeah. Oh, he's super good fun to
Yeah.
play with. Yeah. Our band, I try to time the schedules to be when we go on tour. The sax player, our videographer, our manager, one of the drummers we jam with, just everybody, as if we're together or around each other, I like to like try to plan it around. There.
Nice,
So,
nice.
Good fun.
Yes,
Super
I
good
love
fun.
it. Fantasy. Okay, next question comes from Lunis_McAllister. This person says, what's the weirdest food combination you like to eat?
Oh, weirdest food
Yeah.
combo
Good question.
that I would like to eat.
Oh, sorry. You like to eat.
That I like to eat. Weirdest food combo. Well, maybe not weird for me or weird for
Mhm.
others. You think weird for others?
I guess what objectively
Right, because I
would be
wouldn't
weird.
eat it if it's weird for me. It'd have to
Yeah.
be weird for other people. Yeah. Okay. I would say I love to put mochi crunch and peanut M&Ms on my popcorn all the time, but I don't know if people like M&Ms on their popcorn.
I've had that before. It's good. Like eating.
Yeah.
Oh, really? No.
Do everybody? Okay, dig deeper.
I
Okay,
think-
never mind. Scratch.
I think
this.
M&M, like any chocolate, I've eaten chocolate.
Okay, you're right.
Because
It sounds good.
yeah.
But people don't. But people would think. I don't know if people think
I
that's
think
weird.
more
that I
like- so we have lihimoy on popcorn, but if you did lihimoy on like pizza or something, that's a little weird.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh yeah.
pickles and peanut butter. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's an interesting thing. Okay, good question. I'm one of those people that when I combine taste, I cannot. So I have to actually drink water to clear the
Oh,
palate
okay.
so that I can eat
You
something.
need the ginger.
ginger. Yeah, just something. But I mean, man, if I'm trying to think of the,
I know. I'm trying to think too of like what my answer.
it's a
would
great
be.
question. No. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I weird combos.
A weird habit.
Oh
in
man,
food?
talking about king crab or crab in general, there's just like I just bathe these things in butter, and whack them, you know. I'm probably obsessed with king
Just
crab or any crab,
butter.
period.
Okay.
But the combos, yeah, I don't know, bro.
I
I'm
can't
sorry.
even
I'm
think
sorry
of
for
one,
whoever
yeah.
asked this question, because this was definitely something I needed more time to figure
Yeah,
out.
yeah. What's the weirdest
Sorry.
food combination I like to eat? Shit. We're still trying to
Oh, okay.
think. Okay, we might have
Okay,
one.
so when you So at the end of the bag, okay, this is what I do. So like there's like whether it's salsa or hummus, whatever dip sauce it is, when you come down to the very end of the tortilla bag and there's no more big chips, I crumple all the split stuff and I pour them inside there and then I mix them with the spoon, and then that way I can still eat them without not having one tiny piece of a quarter
that's
to
smart.
eat.
That's
So-
actually smart. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
there you go.
I've never done that, but that's smart.
Okay, do that. No waste.
Yeah. Yeah.
No waste.
I view my mom as just a blender. You just
Yeah.
control everything in and
Exactly.
mix it. It's all going to the same
Like
place.
when you like
Yeah.
when you drive in and like the kind have to put the ketchup on top the French fry. You
just go right in the mouth. Yeah. Yeah.
they all
yeah.
go in the same place.
Yeah. Yeah. I've
They
done
coming
that.
out the same.
They coming out. Yeah. Yeah. For the most part. Yeah. Usually down.
yeah. No,
Hopefully-
yeah, no throw up.
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny. I'm trying to think of like.
Yeah, that's
something for
a
me.
good question.
That's a
Great
really
question.
good question.
Let's do that one. Sorry, we couldn't be more insightful.
I can't
for you.
think of a word combo for me, but some like weird thing I do is I'm super easy with food. Like, you know how people, they take a lot of time, make it nice.
Yeah,
They eat it on the table. Sometimes I eat right over the sink, or like if I'm making a salad, I don't want to cut. I
yeah.
have to go cucumber,
Wow.
spit them on my salad, carrot.
What?
I just put it right on my salad like
Oh,
that.
perfect.
Yeah.
Just so you not waste one knife from have to wash.
Exactly.
Oh, right. Your teeth must be strong, bro.
Well, I mean, I like the baby carrots or whatever.
Okay.
That's easy.
Okay. I was thinking of big carrots, bro. I'm like,
Yeah.
Teeth would hurt.
Yeah, so I'm like that. I'm
There you
just
go.
like easy. Like I don't want to cut it, waste time. Like why I gotta cut it just to put it on top here, just
So I
to
can-
put it in my mouth.
To cut them here.
Yeah,
Hey, if it works.
it's just efficient for me.
Okay.
Part lazy, but efficient.
Full onions, everything. Wow.
Not onion.
Okay.
I'm more simple than that.
Okay.
Just like
No need the
maybe
onions.
tomato.
Still
Like
cut 'em
that,
with
but
your
that's the
teeth.
small kind.
Oh yeah, the cherry kind.
That's actually hard. I think you just one
That you
bite
just
of,
put them on top.
yeah,
of-
because then it'll squirt out. Yeah,
I love that.
yeah.
Learn everything, guys.
Yeah,
from
this one's simple, little boy, you know.
Roger.
Okay, next question comes from Junior.mullet. He says, how often does he do contrast therapy? He came to the Plunge and Barrel once with Lola and Ari. That's the owner, Keith, of
Oh.
F45.
I would love to do it more often. Actually, I was thinking about, because I live down, Central West Side. I don't want to drive to town all the time. So I would love to go visit their spot every time to do the hot cold, because they have the sauna and the ice plunge. But I do try to do it often. I've been reading about how much benefits there is on the, putting your body through healthy pain, like with ice cold water. It's really healthy for you, period.
Yeah,
So
definitely. Increases your
Inflammation.
longevity, decreases inflammation,
Yeah.
all this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, whenever you're in town,
Roger.
let us know.
Sounds good. I'd love to come.
Okay. Next question comes from Kylie Owahine. This person says, how did your childhood affect your music career?
Oh wow. Yeah, well, growing up, my dad and my mom would always take me to the beach. Because I love to surf, and my mom and dad took me during those times to go, be in the ocean. And so that's why I write so much songs about waves, whether it's Cool Down, He Eroa, any song that I wrote about the water. I think just going to Tahiti to surf or going to other places to surf, it always brings out my love for the ocean. Comes from my keiki days. So that's definitely affected my writing, because I always said I want the feeling I have right now in the water, capsulize it, or the word, I don't know, put them in a bottle. And that way it's a song. And when they open up the song or listen to it, it puts out that energy that I had and I capsulized, or I don't even know if that's the word, capsulate.
Encapsulate.
Container, whatever it is, but the vibe. Containalate. Any vibe that I had from the ocean, I try to put it in a music so people can feel that energy.
Yeah.
So,
Solid. How often do you get to surf?
I try to surf 3 days a week, I'd say.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
More on that side, or you come to town?
I like to go Puena, Point, or Chans or Jocos up there. I don't like to go past because the traffic's so nuts to go all the way to Pipeline area. I feel like my body's too frail to be trying to take off on any of those big boys anymore. So
the risk reward isn't there anymore.
Yeah, so I like to longboard down there or go tracks, or bowls is Alamana Bowls is my favorite wave on the south side.
Yeah,
so.
I think I've seen you there one time.
Good fun. After COVID things got more crowded, but still trying to surf as much as I can.
Awesome. Okay, last question comes from Jerry Salamonte from our Patreon. He says, we've seen the clip of you singing with Joe Coy and Wayne Morris from Boyz II Men on their vacation to the Kaneohe Sandbar. How did that opportunity come up, and how did you feel during/after,
Oh
etc.?
man, crazy. That's a crazy experience, actually. My manager, Uncle Danny Kennedy, lead singer of Mana'o Company, he knew I had a pontoon boat for my papa that I'd take people to the sandbar. And so he knew Wanye Morris and Joe Coy were visiting the islands due to a mutual friend they had that was visiting. So he said, hey, I know Wanye Morris is your favorite singer of all time. And I've been a Boyz II Men fan since baby days. Mom and dad would listen to Boyz II Men all the time. So my dream listening to Wanye Morris since growing up was always to sing with him. And so I told him, yeah, I'll take them out. No problem. So I'm like excited. I didn't really expect what to happen, but I brought my ukulele. And then when we left and we got to the sandbar, I asked Wanye if he would sing a song with me. And I said, if you don't sing this with me, you swimming in.
Yeah, nice.
So he had no doubt, but he's super cool about it. It was a good joke. And he was like, there to enjoy the sandbar. It was a beautiful day. And it was really cool because, I asked him to sing two of the songs that I loved to sing and tried to cover my ukulele since, high school days. And Joe Coy is like, oh, I'll take the video. He volunteered himself to take the video of us. And I'm like, kind of like in this moment where my dad and my uncle and auntie guys are there. My dad knows how much Wanye's voice has affected me. I try to do runs. I'm like maybe 5% of the runs that Wanye does. But I'm just such a huge fan. My dad is a huge fan. And so just being in that moment and singing with him, it felt really like one of those dreams for me, and it was really cool. And then Joe Coy took the video and I'm like looking at him like, this is so cool. He's like, how do you like this angle? Like, you guys want to redo this? And he's such a cool guy too. So yeah, that was an awesome experience. I felt like it was one of those milestones, and just personally for myself to say I sang with my favorite singer in the world. And
that's amazing.
Cool. Definitely inspired me to try to keep writing. And that was cool because that came about not through like some kind of collab with music, but it just came because of my uncle who's my manager, and just it was really awesome. Really authentic.
Well, I'm stoked for you. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Someday somebody's gonna sing with you and be like, that's my favorite singer, artist, musician.
I hope so. I definitely, it's beautiful what ways everybody can touch each other to music through generations of Boyz II Men being 30 something years ago. And then, here I've been trying to cover songs from them, and just, it's a cool pattern.
Awesome. So his name is Wanye, but it's spelled Wayne, or did this person just write it?
Wanye Morris.
Wanye?
Yeah, Wanye.
Like Kanye?
Yeah, I guess so.
Huh.
I don't know. Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Some fan of me, but that's how he says his name, Wanye Morris.
Oh, no, because it's spelled like Kanye.
Yeah.
W-A...
Yeah.
Oh,
Wanye.
okay. He spelled it W-A-Y-N-E. Kanye.
I actually ran into
Kanye now.
Actually, Kanye is
K-A-N-Y-E.
Yeah.
Kanye.
I actually ran into Wanye Morris at the Bruno Mars concert in 2018. He was like walking past me, and I thought this was my only chance I was ever gonna meet him. So I was like literally like I just met him. It was crazy because the night before I see him at the Bruno Mars concert, I DM'd him on Instagram, just letting him know how much of his voice has affected me. And this was right after Heartstrings and Round came out. And I just wanted to shoot my shot and just say, hey, I've never messaged you in all this time. And I just want to tell you how much of a huge impact you've made on me. And the next day I run into him at Bruno Mars at a concert. And I'm like, oh man, this is like a cool moment. And then 3 years later, we're singing on a soundbar.
That's awesome.
That was kind of a cool
Did
moment.
he remember? Did he see your message?
I don't know. I don't know. He never responded, but of course those guys get plenty messages.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he remembered me when I talked to him, because he meets everybody, So anyway, it was a cool moment. I was very grateful.
Super cool. Awesome. Well, mahalo everybody for the social media fan questions. Make sure you leave some for our next guest, and maybe your question will make it on the podcast. All right, so we're coming in to the back end of the podcast, and we'll get you out of here before traffic starts.
Sounds good.
I like to ask all of my guests, what does keeping it aloha mean to them in their life? How do you keep it aloha? So in your life, how do you keep it aloha?
Oh man. How do I?
And if you need inspiration, it's right there.
Oh yeah. How do I keep it aloha? I mean, I think one of those things is just treat others the way you want to be treated, right? That principle that we live by, and just how would I want to be treated? And so there's times, right, we get mad and, somebody cuts us off, and sometimes we let our emotions get to us. But I think in those moments, taking a breath, and just like trying to remember that, some people have bad days. I think just trying to assume the best in others is a way to remember not to overreact to people's maybe not being polite. Maybe they're not being polite or whatnot. Just trying to assume they're maybe just not having a good day and not overreacting to that. And something that I'm trying to apply in my marriage too, trying to be, not to be overreactive in myself, but I think just trying to keep it aloha is if you can make somebody feel felt. I think there's moments where, somebody runs into your board at surfing, a different spot, and then they damage it or whatnot, and then instantly they want to defend themselves, and then you start with the vibe hey, and they get mad, and then you're like, oh, can you fix my board? But the way you approach it, this recently happened, that's why. Okay. But it was I saw him get mad really early, but then as soon as I was like, hey, can you not, I just got this, could you help me to pay for this, because he ran this board over, And then the switch in his eyes went from oh, I'm so sorry I did this. I think that's something that keeping it aloha means, is that everybody's kind of on defense nowadays, where they all feel like they have to defend their point of view, their perspective, their pride or whatever it is, whether they've done something wrong or not. And I think just trying to approach it with hey, this is what happened. I could you, maybe help us with repairing this board or whatnot, and just to see how much aloha came out of this guy after. I think it made me realize I'm so glad I didn't come out after it with hey, you know what, you did this.
Yeah.
Because that would have changed the game. That would have been he would have didn't, maybe not felt wanting to help, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's just a little example about trying to keep it aloha, is just try to be kind, bro.
Yeah.
Don't get mad as much as you feel like you need to, because you never know what you'll inspire in the hearts of the other person to react. And so I'm trying to do that, be more like that, because I can easily go opposite and be mad, and that's not what I want to do. So, but I think keeping it aloha, if you can just remember, just give it that first 10 seconds, just take one breath, go, how can I make this less confrontational and more understanding of maybe this guy had a bad day, and then he reached believe in the humanity of people. Because you never know how much you'll be surprised that the person you thought maybe who would be defensive or mad becomes this guy that super aloha.
Yeah. I love that.
Fix the board. Mahalos, bro.
Yeah. Easy to keep aloha when everything's going good. But when things are going bad, you're having a bad day, can you still keep aloha?
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
Yeah. No, it's true.
When somebody runs you over, damages your board, can you still keep aloha?
Yeah, and there's also times when you don't say anything, and you're not being aloha to yourself, because sometimes people do that too. They maybe something happens to them, and they're not keeping it aloha with themselves. And I think you cannot love someone or others if you don't love yourself. And that's another way to keep aloha, is take care of standing up for things when you need to, but do it in a way that's kind. Yeah, because there's nothing that's wrong about standing up for yourself. Just need to do it in a loving way. So
awesome. I just remembered this as we're just talking about aloha. I just thought of Iam Tongi.
Oh, yeah.
I totally forgot to even bring up that amazing time on American Idol.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. So if people don't know, Iam, he's this local boy from Kahuku. He was on American Idol, and for the final song of the top 3 or whatever, just the finale of American Idol, he decided to sing "Cool Down" by Kolohe Kai. And it was such a cool moment for you especially, but even for Hawaii. Because who would have thought to do a reggae song from an ukulele for the final song of American Idol, to win a competition, to win, I don't know, what do they win, a contract, $1 million? I don't know whatever it is.
But they won American Idol.
But he won with a song from Hawaii. Yeah. Which we've never seen before. Right. And you didn't even know he was going to do that, right?
So I got a heads up that week that he was wanting to sing Cool Down, but I was so late to replying because the email got mixed in with a bunch of spam. So management was like, hey, we didn't even notice this request came true. Is it too late for us to give him approval? So I gave him approval that he could sing it, but American Idol said that it was one of 5 songs he was selecting to use. And I thought to myself, well, if he's about to go win in front of the whole country, I kind of don't want him to sing my song just because I want him to use a song that might be more relatable to people in the maybe a cover that everyone knows. And anyway, that was my first intention. I was like, should we just tell him like thanks for the compliment, but hey, I want you to win, so maybe go sing a song everybody knows. But anyway, what happened was they said they would let me know if they would send an email that he chose it. We got no email. We got no notice. We're watching on that Sunday, wondering if it's gonna happen or not. And boom, once it started, I heard Ryan Seacrest say, "We're Tongi's about to cool down." I lost my mind. I was like, "What? Like, this is so crazy." So Kat and I were in the living room, and she pulls out I had asked her, "Babe, try videotape because I just want to show Iam that I'm stoked and honored he's
I remember
doing
seeing
this
that
song."
video.
And then we took the video, and I just was like, it was kind of one of those moments. I was really happy that I asked her to grab the camera because I didn't expect like how just a moment, like seeing one brother sing your song to the world and watch Lionel Richie and Katy Perry and Luke Bryan jam out and rock out to the song. It was such a like full circle moment, I guess. And it was a moment we didn't expect on that Sunday. We didn't hear back whether he was going to sing it or not. And I was in shock. So it was just such a beautiful compliment that he represented Hawaii and brought his roots on the day that it mattered the most and wasn't afraid to show his colors, and to be a part of that in a small way with a surf song like that was really was a huge compliment. And I felt really, really honored and beyond that I got to watch Lionel Richie skank too. Because he's like one of my favorite songwriters of all time. So
that's so cool.
It's pretty awesome. And Iam's such a humble dude and such a wonderful singer, vocalist. He's got such a character about him, and I just wish nothing but the best for that brother and what he's gonna do for what he did for Hawaii and what he'll continue to do.
Yeah, that was such a fun time getting behind Iam and doing like the homecoming.
Oh
whatever.
yeah, the cuckoo thing.
Yeah, we did a
cool.
video for him. A bunch of like singers from Hawaii.
Oh right.
We did that. And I love how authentic he was. Just like you said, staying true to his roots, wearing slippers on the stage and singing that song. I think it inspired a lot of people.
He did a lot to inspire people. I mean, just his transparency about what happened with him and losing his dad and singing that song and just the hearts that he, the heartstrings he pulled on everyone.
Yeah.
He's a good brother.
Nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of representation, your music is, based in Hawaii. It relates to a lot of the people here. Like you said, you don't, even when he sang it, wasn't sure if people outside were going to connect with the music, the lyrics. When you go to certain places, do you feel like you have to change up your style or sing certain songs to connect with people that aren't from Hawaii?
Thankfully, during my career, we've always been asked to do concerts when around the same fan base that we have, whether it's Polynesians or if it's like everywhere. And thankfully I haven't had to change up things a lot. Like I felt like I been able to just keep jamming like the style. And if I do cover something that's like a Journey song or any sort of song that's not like that's a legendary hit, I just use the ukulele and I try to blend the island vibes with it and create it to be some kind of Hawaiian reggae style of the song. But yeah, I've never like felt like I needed to kind of change my approach at things to gain more fans. I think maybe just trying to maybe collab with other artists that have different followings has been something of a goal for me. To make more, to spread the music more further.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel like you have to put on one malo or show up in a lifted Yoda to be more Hawaiian at the concert?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, I think just
Where's your gold chain, by the way?
Oh, no more. Yeah, I don't think I wore a gold chain for a long time. Yeah, but yeah, I think just trying to be me as best as I can. And I think it's so beautiful that the tourists that come to visit Hawaii, they leave with an experience of the ocean, with listening to one of the stations on the radio, because a lot of times they shut off all they came here to relax. So they want to embrace being in the present moment. And that involves a song of any of our reggae artists here in the islands that, creates a memory from them, because a song takes somebody back into a memory, that taste or smell or all these other senses might not be able to trigger so regularly when somebody can put on a Common King song or a Boog song or a Feej song and instantly be transported, or a Kolohe Kai song back to a time they're at the beach. And I think that's precious that we're allowed this privilege to be a part of their happy family memories. And that's one of the things I think when they come to Hawaii, they want the full Hawaiian experience.
Yeah.
And they listen to reggae music or island reggae and listen to all these artists, and we get to be a part of that. So that's what I appreciate.
Yeah. Speaking of like doing a cover on like ukulele or whatever of like a famous song, the thing, Oz knows this because I always like, it's one of those, you ever seen that meme with Arthur? He has like his hand down there and he's like shaking it. You know, she knows what I'm talking about. Like this fist. He's like, yeah, kind of upset. Like, my thing is, every time I find a new song that I thought was a Hawaiian song or a local song that was just a cover.
Right.
So like Molly has a million of them.
Right.
So like I've been listening to a lot of country songs recently. So a new one will come up like and I would screenshot it and be like, this was a cover the whole time? And then another one, what? And like it got to the point where it's like so many, I'm like, I can't take this anymore. And like growing up, you know, like Guava Jelly, Brown Eyed Girl, so many songs. I always thought it was like a local song.
Yeah.
And then like you get to a certain point, like I was 2 years old when I found out it wasn't a local song.
Right.
Like even the didn't EM do drink no, what song he covered Lionel Richie,
Stuck on You.
Stuck on You. I thought that was a local song from Ekolu the whole time.
Right. Yeah, I'm a huge Ekolu fan. I mean, growing up, that's what I love to listen to as well. Ekolu is awesome. But there's a lot of songs that have been remade, like Call Crater Boys, right? I mean, just think about all the songs we've loved to grow. We listen to countless styles, island renditions. And I'm so glad that we've had those renditions. We would have never heard the originals.
That's true.
You know, they've just been brought to us in those ways that, I didn't know.
Yeah, I just feel like sometimes I feel like I'm living a lie, and I just want to thank you for not doing that to us with your music.
Oh, thank you.
So bro. when I have a podcast with Glenn, I'm definitely gonna bring it up to him and tell him that I thought it was your original songs, Glenn.
I'm happy. I'm grateful that I think writing is such a healthy thing, ventilating for me as an artist, that I like to I admire Taylor Swift so much in that way, or Ed Sheeran, or anybody who's a singer-songwriter in that way, where you're able to kind of share different chapters of your life where your fans can kind of grow up with you. And I like that about Taylor Swift because where she was in her life, she wrote songs, and fans that were at their age dealing with the same problems, they got to kind of grow up in the same way, feeling understood, feeling heard, feeling like they could listen to a song. And I think that's what I'm really grateful about trying to write my originals, is like it kind of gives myself a chance to like, this is where I'm at, like this is what's happening, and maybe somebody else is kind of relating to that in any way. So I want to try to write as much originals as I can. And then I've covered like Speechless, Isn't She Lovely from Stevie Wonder, All My Life from Casey and JoJo. So I have covered some songs.
I was actually,
so don't give me too much credit.
I was listening to Speechless this morning,
but actually. I always liked, I still admire that too though, is I do think that we do put a lot of pressure on ourselves to write. And sometimes though, if a song, like In Case You Didn't Know, that Glenn did and from Mauli, comes out as a smash, like there's so many smash covers. It's unreal. I think there's certain songs I would have never heard if Brother never covered. So shout out to Brother Glenn. He is making some unreal cover songs too.
Yes.
And
even better
his
than
own.
the original.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, I like that song more than the original.
Yeah, exactly.
And but there is beauty also in trying to create an original from scratch and stuff. So either way, there's joys on both sides.
Yeah. I love it. I just like to mess around and to poke fun at that, because I swear I 100% would believe that a lot of these songs
when we grew up, it was the same. And hey, you know what? Some kids that when I did All My Life, one of the kids goes, "Oh, I love this song. Oh, I never heard this song before." And I'm like, bro, I cannot take credit for All My Life from Casey and JoJo. And in Speechless, I remember somebody tagging us in a Speechless song from Dan and Shay's actual original and saying, "Hey, this guy's covered your song." Bro, I'm like, this is my first cover I ever did was Speechless. So anyway, it's It's music, bro.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
look at you think about Whitney Houston's "I Will Always Love You," right? That came from Dolly Parton, right? That was
see, I didn't know that.
that was a cover song.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's
Yeah.
songs that would have never we got to hear had
Yeah.
those persons not cover them. So
Yeah, I
get
love
beauty
it.
in them. Get beauty.
Yeah, I remember when EM did it and they posted it on social media. I think I commented like, "Oh, I didn't know Lionel Richie covered an Ekolu song."
Yeah, because we don't know, right? It's not like we've been alive from the 70s to know what songs originally came out. But I think that's the beauty about music. Look at what Brada Is did with Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Mhm.
That's a cover. That's unbelievable song that became
No, it's Brada Is this song. No, you can't do this to me. Please don't do this to me, bro.
I never mean to
Brada
offend
Is this
nobody.
song.
I never mean to offend nobody. But still, I mean, you
Don't
think
ruin
about,
that.
right? Ukulele renditions of any of these smashes or hits that have come across over history, man. A lot of people would have never heard that song done that way without Brada Is and the power that he came with. So
I'm gonna be ignorant in that one. Ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is bliss.
it's all good. It's all good. Music is music. If you can be original, there's more power to that.
Yeah.
Creating a song that you wrote, but then if you can cover a song that's on Smash too, bro, and make it your own, that's awesome too.
Yeah. Nah, I'm just joking. I love covers. That's what I grew up watching on YouTube. Just everybody covering all
That's
kinds
right.
of songs. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
But we got a little bit of time.
Okay.
Before we wrap up, I wanted to do this fun game with you.
Okay, I'm nervous.
And you can play too, Kat. So this is called Moke Gabs. It's by one of my businesses, Hawaiiverse.
Gabs.
So it's like Mad Gabs, where you read the gibberish and then you have to try to decipher it. It's a local phrase. So like over here it says cone hawk offie. Cone hawk offie. And it's supposed to say cone coffee.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get it, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So it's all local phrases. I feel like you two would have
Okay.
a good time. And I'll give you a deck so you can take home. So we'll start
thank
off
you.
with an easy one. So you read over here and then I have the answer behind me.
Okay.
Okay. So you can read out loud. So if you read out loud, it's easy, and then you can both
Hook.
hear it. Oh, nice.
No,
Yeah.
We have to say what it
You
is.
read it out. You read it out
Are
loud,
you-
and then you have to guess it. No, I'm just like
You're just holding it?
So usually we'd be on teams,
Okay.
and then you would have to read it, and then you get one. Then I put it down, so you have a minute to guess as many as you can. But
Okay.
we're just doing this for fun.
Okay.
So just read out just to try to guess it.
Okay.
Yeah. So ukulele.
Okay.
Okay. Here. Okay. Here. This is a good one. But say it out loud.
Just hobble less hall. Just hobble less hall. Just hobble less hall. I love it. Oh, that's a good
That's
one.
good. She's good.
She's way more
Okay.
better at this.
What about this one?
Con hack, caught hack. Kanak.
Kanak attack.
Kanak
attack.
Oh, cut hack.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, what about this one? You probably got this when you was a kid.
Dirty-lickens. Dirty Lickens. Oh, I'm bad at this. My wife from San Diego is
Yeah,
better at
I
this
know.
one.
Who's a
Sorry.
local
But she's a
here?
local already.
Yeah. Wait, about this one?
Food de gake. Food cocky.
Okay. Okay, we're running through these. Nice.
Okay, mokatom mukai. Mokatom.
Oh, she's so good.
Mukai.
It's
Oh,
when you
you're
hear
so
somebody else, when you know, but when you're reading it, it's harder to.
Okay,
to hear
you read it then.
Yeah,
'cause
okay.
Then I can
Yeah,
catch
him.
it. Yeah.
Here,
come
come.
here.
Oh, here, sit in my. Okay.
Okay.
All right there. Okay. All right. Okay. If you get these next.
Okay, you read them. I gotta
Wait.
see if I
Okay,
can catch them.
Okay. Wait. Where am I at? I missed. Okay. Right there. Okay. Let's just try this one.
Miss Aloha Hula.
Miss Aloha Hula.
Nice. See, you hear it because she read it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I just did this one
Okay.
already. I did this one. Oh wait, I'm going backwards. Sorry.
Okay. No worries.
Okay. Oh, wait, this is a good one.
I caught Hako Shishi.
I caught Ako Shishi.
I got a Shishi.
I got it. Nice. Okay, I like that. That's a good one.
Okay, we got two more. Let's see this one. Okay, right there.
Talk story.
Talk story.
Talk story.
Talk
Yeah.
story.
There we
That's
go.
an easy one.
There we
Okay,
go.
last one.
Okay.
Okay.
Rashadat.
Roger that.
Rajarat. Yeah.
I like
Right
that.
on. Yeah.
I like
It's a quick
those.
one. Yeah.
So you got to
that-
see how much you can do.
Yeah. So there's
Thank
about-
you, babe. Thank
Good
you.
job. Yeah, so there's about 200 phrases. It's like double-sided with 200
Sick.
each side.
Raj.
So I'll give you one to take home.
Thank you so
But-
much.
Yeah,
That's
of
so
course.
creative.
Yeah, it's a fun game.
I love that.
Yeah.
How did you come up with this?
So one of our CEO's friend, he thought of the idea, and they sat on it for a long time.
Oh,
And
it's
they're
so
like,
good.
hey, you guys we have our platform for
Yeah.
it's a platform for local businesses.
Awesome.
So he said, hey, we'll give this to you guys. You think of some phrases. So I think they gave us about like 50 phrases to start off with, and then we thought about the others.
Super
Yeah.
fun.
Ma-
200.
mainly-
You guys
mainly-
came out with a lot.
My team, I did nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I take the credit. That's all.
yeah, that's awesome. What a cool idea.
Yeah. So go check it out on
Right on.
hawaiiverse.com, mocabs. Okay, so before we end, I just have a couple more questions.
Yeah.
What is something you wish people knew about you that they don't?
Oh, what I wish people knew about me, but I don't.
Mhm.
Oh,
Maybe
man.
something you think people misunderstand about you.
Oh man, what's a good one? A lot of the songs that I write, they come from a lot of principles that I've learned from the Bible, and so I
Mm.
think that's one of the things maybe people don't know about me is I really do take a lot of the things that maybe sort of things that could help people mentally or help them to have hope for a future or just anything. Maybe they don't know that about me is that I do like to bring certain things that I've learned about from the Bible and try to comfort and encourage people no matter what they believe or what their thoughts are. I just try to share something that is something neutral and that can be applied to everyone, that can help them feel hopeful about themselves and about their future. So maybe they might think, oh man, I'm coming up with some of these cool ideas, but no, it's not coming from me. It's coming from what I learned from the Bible. So if that's something that people didn't know, now they know.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, some little thoughts. Like
it almost
love.
goes along the line of the songs. It's like not everything's like an original thing.
Yeah.
It stems from another idea.
And I think, of course, I wouldn't assume people thought I came up with some of these lines because they know they're famous lines from other people or songs or ideas. But I would like to give that the credit that it's
But you make it
deserved.
into your own.
Try to. And so maybe when people hear that inspires them in their life, it's not coming from me. It's coming from scriptural things I've learned from the Bible.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So what is your future goals? 5, 10, 20 years? What's the
goals?
life looking like?
Yeah. I mean, are we talking about just life in general, music or
everything?
all of it?
Yeah, everything in your life.
I mean, in 5 years from now, starting a family would be a beautiful goal of having kids and
then taking them walking hand in hand in Disneyland.
Yeah. I think
hands in hands.
Hands in hands.
Yeah. Gotta change the lyrics.
Yeah, I definitely I think 5 years would be, I in my mid 30s and late 30s, I'd like to, join on that beautiful journey of being a dad and that beautiful life. 10 years from now, man, shoot, I would think those kids would be giving me a headache and I'm teaching them how to surf, and my wife and I are showing them how to catch waves and play music, play ukulele, and I think a lot of cool travel trips and just taking them to places around the world. My wife loves to travel and I love to travel with her, and I think seeing the world through the eye of a child would be amazing because you get to experience things from such a pure perspective. So and musically, I would hope that I'm still relevant and people want to listen to my music, and I'm hoping that in the next 5 to 10 years I come out with maybe 3 or 4 more round and rounds in the meantime that might help comfort somebody that might need it. I actually have an album dropping next year that's called What Aloha Means.
Oh, I love that.
That's cool. Yeah. What Aloha Means. And it's all about basically there's a lot of love songs and a lot of surf songs, but the one songs that I'm trying to focus more push to is those to help people to not give up and take one day at a time, or just have hope for the future to be better. And so so I would hope that I'd come out with more music and travel more, and in 20 years from now I would be in my early 50s, and shoot, I don't even know what that looks like, but
you can still perform.
Yeah, still be jamming.
Yeah.
I know Uncle Fiji is still jamming.
Yeah.
He's in his early 50s. And I would hope that I could create some sort of track record to, like I said earlier, what is real riches and what is real joy is trying to make an impact in any way you can in someone's life. So I hope to be rich in that way.
Awesome.
By the time I pass, I hope that it makes a difference.
Awesome. Great answer.
Thanks.
Okay. So before we end the podcast, I got to know, what is your life hack?
Life hack. Okay. This is what I was thinking about. my life hack is to live in the present moment. So one of the things that I fail to do many times is to worry a lot about tomorrow. And so I've been writing a lot of songs about that too. It's like trying to live in the present moment. And so that's something that my mom always told me, to try to live one day at a time. And that's hard to do when you have things that worry you. But one of the things that I feel like maybe you can do that are listening, that you're having a hard time applying that, is there's this beautiful mindfulness practice that I try to practice is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So look at 5 things in the room or 5 things in the nature.
Okay.
Hear 4 things. Feel 3 things. Smell 2 things and taste 1 thing. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you can enlighten your senses in that way, you will realize you're being present. So when I find myself getting anxious, I could even do this when I'm surfing because I'm like, there's nothing going on. So now my thoughts are all catching up to me. Live in the present moment. Try this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 practice, and you'll realize there's so much joy in that second that you're wasting worrying about this post or this, comment on Instagram or whatever. Who cares? Like, just try your best to be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Live in the present moment.
Oh, that's so cool. I'm gonna try to do that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, it's really helped me to not be super like anxious. So that's a life hack that I've been trying to practice. And it's crazy. You can do it anywhere. And like, you have to just find things. Like, it's weird because if you do it every hour, you're finding out like you noticed something that just literally slipped by. Ko'ola Mountains, for example. I lived Kaneohe for so many years, but I took for granted those mountains. Brah, if you're on the Kaneohe side or you're anywhere near a mountain, brah, you take for granted looking at how beautiful and majestic and powerful that looks. But look at it, because it helps us remind that, we just need to look at what's beautiful around us and not take it for granted. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Like they say, like, stop and smell the roses.
That's it.
Stop and smell the pools. Look at the mountains.
Stop, look at the mountains, go to the beach or do something. Because people who live in Hawaii, sadly, because of how expensive life has gotten, people are so busy trying to make ends meet, and they're trying so hard to just survive and stay home, stay in Hawaii, not have to move away. But in the meantime, there's these precious moments, if we can, take that necessary time you need mentally for you and your family. Go beach just for like, even if it's 30 minutes, bro. There's times that me and her just needed like literally 30 minutes or 10 minutes. Just put the feet in the water and everything's all good.
Awesome. Well, great life hack. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that.
Right on.
Yeah. Okay. So I just got my last fast fave 5 questions. These are just rapid fire answers. Okay.
Okay.
Favorite post surf meal?
Acai bowl.
Yeah. That's the one. There's only one right answer for that.
Yeah.
Favorite way to recharge?
Surfing.
Nice. Favorite karaoke song?
Ooh, End of the Road, Boys to Men.
Oh, nice. Favorite venue to perform?
Oh, wow. Oh. Wow, man. One Love Fest, New Zealand is still my favorite place that I've ever done.
Yeah, I gotta get to New Zealand.
It's a big one. It's like 25,000 people.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That's crazy. Okay, and favorite travel destination?
Ooh, favorite. I would have to say back home to Pakala and Kauai. Even though it's not like a travel place, I feel like every time I go back to the roots of where my life really, music life, surf life started, it would be going down to Kauai and staying at my grandpa's plantation house he's lived in 70 years, and just to go, like I said, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's my absolute favorite place.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the Pakala waters make you feel pretty good, yeah?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's where the song comes from, inspiration. That's where This Is the Life and all those other stuff come from, so.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, mahalo for coming on, talking stories. It was awesome getting to cruise with the both of you, make a couple guest appearances on this episode.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Of course, keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to be a fan for a very long time.
Mahalo.
I don't think you're ever not going to be relevant, so don't got to worry about that.
I appreciate it.
Is there anything you want to share with the audience before I looked at that thing again. With the audience before we wrap up? If not, tell us where we can find you.
Yeah. No, I just want to say, everybody, thank you for watching the podcast, and thank you for being great fans all these years. And I hope that the music keeps being what you need it to be for the rest of my career and for your families. And thank you for all the positivity you bring to reminding everyone out here because this is some stuff some quotes you dropped, and I'm like, oh, bro, that's a good one.
Yeah,
So, but thank you guys so much for having my wife and I, and yeah, stay positive. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nice. Mahalo, Roman and Kat, for joining us on the Keep It Aloha podcast. Spread love, be kind to one another, and mahalo for listening to us today. We have new episodes every Thursday, so make sure you follow us and leave a review. I'm your host, Kamaka, and remember to always keep it aloha.